Yes, sir. We're back with another one, man. Hold up. Let's get into it, y'all. What's good to Live Reaction Minute today? We're back with another reaction video, man. By the title, y'all can tell exactly what it is. We're back with another reaction video. 15 things you didn't know about Norway. Sounds pretty interesting, doesn't it? Let's get straight into it. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on IG, Twitch, and Snap, all at the bottom of the screen. And without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Jump out, hit us, gold dice figures, mask up on my dinners, V5 from the killer, on site hit him, roll my clubs, case spinners, rockstar life, I live it, boss weight cons, I did it, focus line and more mix it.
Alright, y'all, that's my bad. Let's get back into the video, man.
Sport. It's easy to see why Norway is the ruling country in the peninsula. With a population of a little over 5 million people, the country is mostly inhabited in the southern region due to the north's harsh climate and tall mountains. It's said that the first Vikings originated from Norway between the 8th and 10th centuries, and nowadays the country is one of the healthiest and happiest in the world. Having lots of natural resources and a clever way of managing them made Norway a model almost nobody managed to replicate. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. With all that being said, we've done some digging and found some incredible things about this country. Here are 15 things you didn't know about Norway.
Them clouds look clean. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see that shit. Norway must be like on a mountain type shit. For the clouds to be this low, Norway has to be like, what is it called? The elevation, the altitude. Yeah. They have less altitude. That's what I meant to say, y'all.
Number 1. Norway exports tap water.
Hey.
Yes, you heard that right. Tap water. In Norway, the water is so pure that you can drink it from the tap with no problems. Their water comes mostly from glaciers and natural springs that don't need much filtration. You can even get their tap water at restaurants for free. Having such praised water supplies, they managed to market it and sell it as artisanal water all over the world. We're talking about Voss Water, the Norwegian brand selling bottled tap water. This story was uncovered in the documentary film A Drop of Luxury, where one executive from the brand admitted that the water is pretty much tap water in a fancy bottle. Number 2. Norsemen go to Sweden or Finland to buy cheaper alcohol. If you're planning to take a trip to Norway, make sure you bring enough money with you because even if it's a great country to visit, it's also extremely expensive when it comes to housing, dining, transportation, and pretty much everything. The minimum wage is around $25 per hour, so money is not a problem for the locals. But even so, they still like to buy cheaper items like food or alcohol. People travel between Norway and Sweden just to get cheaper alcohol and basic groceries for years. Police stopped a truck at customs one time because it was transporting $2.8 million worth of undeclared garlic across the border from Sweden, as reported by the Irish Times. If you ever visit Norway, maybe stock up on some alcohol and snacks just to blend in. Number 3. Famous movies and TV series were filmed there. Europe has been the set of a lot of movies and TV shows lately. More and more productions seek out old medieval cities, green plains, or high shores that cannot be replicated in the studios.
Facts.
Such locations later become major tourist attractions and offer people new destinations to travel to. Norway is also on the list of famous sets with movies like The Danish Girl, The Empire Strikes Back, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Ex Machina, or The Golden Compass, being shot fully or partially there. If you want major FOMO design, watch Ex Machina as it was shot in a breathtaking Scandinavian home. Number 4. They started a wealth fund worth $1 trillion. Norway has quite a small population and the northern part is not very inhabited since it snows all year round and temperatures are below zero almost all the time. That's why most of the population lives in Oslo, the capital city, or the surrounding area where they can be closer to civilization. The country relies on its oil extractions from the Northern Sea very much, and you'll be surprised to find out that most of the profits from the oil industry are secured into a wealth fund, which is now worth $1 trillion. This money is used by the population and for the population. As of 2017, every citizen has $192 from that fund, and it keeps growing. While your country might be in debt, Norway has money in a trust just in case something happens. Number 5. The richest man in Norway is John Fredrickson, with a net worth of $7.3 billion. The person we're going to talk about now is most probably not known to a lot of people. In fact, a lot of billionaires are not out there in the media, on the red carpet or at major events. They usually run their businesses from their office or on their plane. John Fredrickson is the richest person in Norway and has a fortune of $7.3 billion as of 2018, and most probably only people in Norway know about him and his business. He made a fortune out of oil tankers and shipping, and he owns the world's largest oil tanker fleet. He also has major interests in other oil-related businesses, and will probably make some more investments in the near future to secure his place in the industry. Number 6. Kevin Spacy is accused of abusing a member of the royal family in Norway. We've all heard about Kevin Spacey's abuse scandal that broke out a few months ago, and we even wept a little after his removal from the House of Cards' final season. He was accused of sexual advances towards a 14-year-old boy back in 1986. Kevin Spacey stated that he does not have any memory of that, but he apologized publicly. But that wasn't enough, and his reputation had quite a bit to suffer after the scandal. Another victim came through regarding Kevin Spacey's behavior, and that person is a member of Norway's royal family. He told the media that Kevin Spacey groped him under a table at a Nobel Peace Prize concert in Oslo 10 years ago. His name is Ari Ben, formerly married to Princess Martha Louise and father of 3, and he became the 16th man to accuse Spacy of sexual misconduct. Number 7. Their Olympic skiing team had Nazi symbols on their sweaters. When you're born in a country where winter lasts almost all year long, it comes as no surprise that in matters of sport, you'll be practicing the winter ones. Norway's winter sports teams are always winning medals at the Winter Olympics or any other competition. For the 2018 Winter Olympics, their designer tried something new for the team's official clothing, but in return, they only got negative comments and Nazi references. Their black and gray sweaters feature a symbol, Tyrun, representing the attacking Viking, a symbol commonly associated with Viking and Norse mythology. But the symbol has also been used by extreme right-wing groups and is also the official emblem for Adolf Hitler's leadership school in Nazi Germany. I guess it's safe to say the designer got an F in history class. Number 8. Police uncovered years of sex abuse in Norway's northern areas. Another sex scandal was uncovered in Norway this year. This time, people from the far northern areas were on the radar when police uncovered over 150 sex abuses and assaults that went unreported for a year. Generations of native Sami people living in remote northern regions have been victims of rape and child abuse. With a population of around 2,000 people living in those communities.
Hey man, I thought these were things we didn't know. Things we want to know. This is something I don't want to know.
You can imagine how big of an impact the scandal had. These Sami communities have their own language and have been living across the Arctic in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia for a long period of time without going extinct. But sadly, they have lots of abuse issues, and who knows what other problems. Number 9. Norway is not an EU member. The European Union is a political and economic union of 28 member states that are located primarily in Europe and was established in 1957 through the Treaty of Rome. Back then, only 6 countries entered the union and 7 more would enter as the union grew bigger. Norway was a part of the second batch of countries that wanted to enter the union in 1972. The decision was negotiated for almost 2 years between Norway and the rest of the member countries, but was ultimately submitted to be a referendum vote, and the population voted against the EU. Since then, Norway declined another EU invitation and is still not a member of the EU, but remains one of the richest and most prosperous countries in Europe. Number 10. Oil is very expensive in Norway, even though they produce and export it. In case you didn't get it by now, Norway is very expensive. It's up there with Switzerland, where a small bottle of water is at least $5 at the supermarket. Topped with housing, groceries, utilities, transportation, and dining out, you end up spending a few €1,000s just on your daily life expenses. If you paid attention, we mentioned earlier that Norway makes most of its money and profit from the oil industry. They extract the oil from the Northern Sea and then they export it. That easy. You would expect in this case to buy 1 liter of petrol at the gas station for a couple of dollars since they have so much of it. But no. Norway has the highest oil prices in the world. 1 gallon of petrol is at least $7.82, almost 3 times more expensive than in the US. If you want to find out some more about another northern country, make sure to watch our video 15 Things You Didn't Know About Finland. Number 11. Norway is the first country that banned tree cutting.
I'm a guy who lost a bet and my dignity. As if watching my team lose wasn't punishment enough.
Just Googling Norway on the web or watching the movies we mentioned a few minutes ago will get you the full picture of just how beautiful and raw this country is. Lots of untouched nature, natural reservations or parks, Aurora Borealis and Lapland are just a few of the wonders you can experience in rural Norway. And in order to keep the landscape as Mother Nature intended, the government decided to act and passed a law that banned tree cutting across the whole country. Deforestation is a major problem, and a lot of regions face it, and it's affecting our global climate too. Let's hope more countries look up to Norway and act quickly. Number 12. The fiords area will be the first zero-emission zone at sea. Norway's majestic fjords have become popular tourist attractions over the years. You can't visit Norway without having a cruise over the...
Hold on 1 second. Okay. Not bad, y'all.
Fjords in the same waters as the Vikings once sailed. But since they're so popular, it means more and more people are visiting, and that means pollution levels are growing.
But that water looks beautiful, bro. That look like some clean ass water, no cap.
The area is now being transformed into a zero-emission zone at sea, and no cruise ships and ferries are allowed to go there if they're not electric. This measure shows that tourism can be dangerous to a lot of beautiful areas, and no money can bring back what people and pollution destroys. Another thumbs up for Norway. Number 3. They knighted a real penguin. There's a penguin in this world that is actually a real knight, with decoration, full rights, and an army to his little feet. It might sound like a Disney production, but it's real life. Brigadier Sir Niels Olav is a king penguin who currently resides in the Edinburgh Zoo, Scotland, and is the mascot and colonel-in-chief of the Norwegian King's Guard. He's the third in his family to inherit the title, and goes by the title Niels Olav III. He got his knight title in 2008, and in 2016, he even got a promotion at the zoo, and they made him a brigadier. You'll see Sir Niels Olav walking in front of his army of men, and a tiny decoration can be seen on his wing. We're now waiting for the written biography and the movie to be made. Number 14. Oslo donates a Christmas tree to Trafalger Square every year as a thank you for the World War II support. World War II had a lot of its battlefields in Europe. Long story short, the Germans went on a quest to take over the countries around them and expand their territory, but were not very successful in the Scandinavian peninsula. Norway was invaded by German forces in April of 1940, but they were not able to capture King Haakon. He was later exiled in London, where he tried to take his country back. With the help of Britain, he managed to take back Norway from the German occupation, and in order to show his gratitude, the king promised to give a Christmas tree to Trafalgar Square every year. Since then, every year the Christmas tree you see lit up in Trafalgar Square is a kind gift from Norway. Now that's what you call diplomacy and good foreign policies. Number 15. Ikea names wardrobes and hall furniture after places in Norway. Ikea, the place where couples fight over bedside tables and curtains for the living room. It's probably one of the most recognizable brands in the world, and yes, we know it's Swedish. What you might not know is that Ikea has a strict rule of naming its objects and furniture items. The rules for naming were devised by Ikea's founder, Ingvar Kamprad, who struggled with dyslexia and had trouble remembering the order of numbers in item codes. The name Ikea itself is an acronym for Ingvar Kamprad Almterid, his family's farm, and Gunnarid, the village he grew up in. So, bathroom articles are named after Swedish lakes and watercourses, bed textiles after flowers and plants, and beds, wardrobes, hall furniture after Norwegian place names. There are also other Scandinavian references and a lot more of Swedish culture, but Norway is also a part of Ikea culture. Now that was it for our Norway story, Elexers. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Let us know in the comments below if you visited this beautiful country before, or if you're planning to visit. And since you love our videos and watch this one all the way to the end, we're rewarding you with another fact. Here it is. We all attribute sushi to Japan. They invented it. There are a lot of types of sushi, and if you hadn't been to a Japanese restaurant or have never eaten sushi, just remember that it contains different types of fish and sometimes even vegetables. One of the best known sushi is a salmon roll, or nigiri, but the truth is, salmon was not popular in Japan until the 1960s and 70s. Norway brought the fish to Japan and showed them how to eat it raw. After their invention, the Japanese began to experiment more with salmon, and now lots of sushi have salmon in it. Thank you for spending some time with us, Elexers.
Jeez. They really invented the sushi? Y'all say that? It said Norway invented that, not Japan. That's crazy. The most interesting one that I heard was probably the $25 an hour thing, bro. What was that, the first one? Another one I thought was interesting was they knighted a real penguin. That was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. My boys, what was his name? Sir something. It was Sir something. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed that video, man, comment some things in Norway, or comment some more things about Norway, some videos you want me to watch, rap, it can be some drill music. Hey, comment it down below. I'm trying to get to it, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, follow me on IG, Twitch, and Snap, all at the bottom of the screen. And without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into another video. I'm gone. Peace.